Hey, hot doggers. So I'm just gonna put out this little ditty for tonight, little short thing. I'm gonna let you guys know we're gonna talk about weather, right? Weather and how it affects dogging. Sometimes it doesn't. I know several vendors, they have very good spots at very good businesses that stay busy, like dollar stores, liquor stores. They'll set up in the parking lot at these stores that pull in their own walking traffic, which keeps them busy, whether it's rain, shine, sleet, snow, drought. It doesn't matter. They stay busy. They have constant foot traffic at these locations. For me personally, most of you know I work, well, at my vendors work the nightlife crowd, the bars, the bar scene. Um, in our case, our customer base comes from the bars. When the bars get no customers, we get no customers. So we are actually influenced by the weather. I can tell you that generally speaking, when the weather gets too cold, people don't go out. They don't go to the bars that we cater to. They might go to some local pub in their area, but generally speaking, they don't go to the downtown hype party. When it gets down to be in the teens, when it's snowing outside, people they just want to stay home, or they'll go someplace close to them. And so for me, the weather does affect our business. So when it gets down to the freezing temperatures, we're not working this weekend because it's going to be in 19 degrees. We're actually going to see 16 degrees tomorrow at some point. So we're not going to be working. I don't anticipate. I used to work those cold nights, but we never made any money. Also, you have to take your expenses into account. For me, I don't make money when we work those cold nights. If it were just me and I was going out working the cart myself, I didn't have to pay a vendor. I didn't have to pay for transport. I didn't have to pay for all this other stuff that I now have to pay for because I have multiple units. My expenses are high, so I have to make a minimum amount for me to make any before I can even make any money. If it's just you, if it's just one cart, you're working it. That's a whole different story. Maybe you might be able to work these cold nights and cold days and make good money doing it. So with that being said, my case is not the same as everybody else's. However, generally speaking, you have to account for the foot traffic that you anticipate for the location that you're setting up. Again, like I said, for me, our foot traffic dies down when it gets cold, when there's snow on the ground. Generally in the spring and summer, it dies down because people want to go out to concerts, they want to go out to bonfires. They don't want to be locked up indoors. They're tired of being locked up indoors from the winter, so they want to go out. They want to go outside, do outside stuff. So spring, summertime, usually we see a dip, and that's affected by the weather. People want to be out when it's warm and nice and sunny. So these are things that I have to take into account for my business. These are things that you should take into account for your business. And I feel like, like I said, everybody's different. What works for me may not work for you. What doesn't work for me may work for you. Like I said, my situation is a very unique situation. There's not a lot of people running multiple carts like I do, and talk about it through a YouTube channel. So my situation is very unique, very different. So like I said, this is just my experience. This is just for me. We don't work when it gets freezing because the customer base just isn't there. People don't come out when it gets to be too cold. Generally, if temperatures get below 20 degrees, it doesn't make sense for us to even go out. So we're gonna be off this weekend. We're not gonna be out this weekend, but I hope you do. I hope you find some way to make tons of money this weekend. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the comments below. Holla.